In the main event, we had Karrion Kross knocking off Keith Lee to become the all-new NXT champion. Of course, kind of rendered irrelevant last night when Karrion Kross vacated the championship due to injury. I think in the process, becoming the shortest reigning NXT champion ever in the history of the brand. Potentially, I think of any championship, not just only the NXT championship. I think the shortest title reign in any title on that show. But still, it was a very good match, I thought. Some people thought it was boring. I liked it. It wasn't great by any means. It wasn't amazing, but I thought it was a very good main event. Solid, well wrestled, hard hitting. And Kross goes over clean to become the all new NXT champion, of course, paving the way for Keith Lee to be called up to the main roster literally the next night on SummerSlam. So I thought this was good stuff. You called Kross winning. I think I said Keith Lee last week. I know we had differing predictions. You called Kross, right? And I said Keith?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so Keith Lee lost. Karrion Kross, new champion. Good match. What were your thoughts in the main event, RJ? Was it what you wanted it to be? Were you in the underwhelming category? What were your thoughts on this?
So I thought the match was good. I think a lot of people just might have been disappointed because they did more of a big man match, but it wasn't like the Keith Lee Dijakovic matches. They were doing big man stuff, but also doing ridiculous indie spots. So I can understand what people were saying if they thought it was boring because it just was a different style of big man match. It just was more hard hitting than doing all these ridiculous moves and dives and stuff like that. But no, I really enjoyed it. I thought Kross came well. I think Lee did his part as good as he could as well, and I was glad that Kross won. And then I was upset to see that he had to vacate the title. I think, like I said last week, if you're gonna push him to the moon. I'm choking away.
Take a breather, brother. Take a breather.
All right, I'm back.
Okay. Don't want to die here on the show. Jesus.
I know I'm choking on a Cheez-It right now.
Oh, God. Hey, if there's anything to choke on, it might as well be a Cheez-It. Cheez-Its are great.
Seriously, if that's the way I go, I'll be happy. But yeah, if you're going to push a guy, just push him to the moon. I think that's the right approach, and that's what they were going for. But injuries happen, and I think he'll come back bigger and better and stronger. But no, I really enjoyed the match. I wouldn't say I put it in the boring category. Your classic big man slugfest.
They didn't do five dives or whatever. They didn't do 5 swantons like the Young Bucks, so people complain. That's why.
Basically, no. I don't think they did any dives, so that's probably and it wasn't in Tokyo, so just knock it down a few stars.
Did Cornette review this match yet? I think he did, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
Did he like it? Just because I'm curious, because he always poops in the Young Bucks matches, so I'm curious to see if he would like a match of this style, or did he think it was boring?
I think he did lean to more of a boring. I think he just said, not that it was boring per se, but coming off of Cole. I guess I'm trying to think how to say it. He wouldn't say it was boring, but it wasn't it slowed down a lot from where McAfee and Cole were and Io and Kai, so it just kind of felt out of place, I guess.
No, that makes sense. Kind of on the same.
Go ahead. Pants off McAfee though.
What'd you say?
They fucking loved the McAfee Cole match though.
Oh, I'm sure they did. And that's cool too. I'm glad they liked it because it was a very good match. I would hate to see him poop on it. Just because it was a celebrity or he half-assed it. The guy went in there and fucking killed it. I don't know how anyone could watch that match and be either disappointed or be upset that it wasn't amazing. Cole the guy's an ultimate professional. The guy goes in there and steals the show literally at every friggin' takeover. This one being no exception. So great stuff there. Kind of on the NXT front, as we're on it right now, we might as well discuss last night events. You mentioned the NXT Championship being vacated on Wednesday by Karrion Kross. Unfortunately, injury he suffered during the match, I think a separated shoulder, serious enough to keep him out on the shelf for the foreseeable future, meaning that the NXT Championship has been declared vacant by the returning general manager William Regal. Great to see him. He announced next Tuesday on a Super Tuesday edition of I almost said NWA. NXT, because that's when NWA used to air. NXT Fatal 4-Way match for the NXT Championship. Adam Cole, Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, Finn Balor, all former champions, all four of the greatest champions in NXT history. You talk about Mount Rushmore, you got 4 of them right here. And not only any standard old-fashioned Fatal 4-Way match, it's going to be contested under a 60-minute Iron Man match rules, which is unfucking believable. And we've had 30-minute Iron Man matches before. I just saw one the day before this on Impact between Jordan Grace and Deonna Purrazzo, which was really, really good. I know AEW did one on Dynamite earlier this year, one of the best matches in the company's history so far between Omega and Pac. That was a great match. But this is going to be 60 minutes, and literally encompassing an entire hour of the show, half of the show next Tuesday. What were your thoughts on this development, RJ, and who do you see going over as the new NXT champion?
So I thought it was just, when he said Fatal 4, I'm like, all right, this could be a really good match. And then he said the Iron Man match. I was like, holy shit, this is going to be unreal. But no, I love the competitors with Cole, Gargano, Ciampa, and Finn. I think that all 4 guys can go. I think it's going to be a fucking amazing match. And I'm going with Finn. I think you put the belt on Finn and have him run with it for a little bit, and then maybe after this title run, maybe come back in the main roster. But I got Finn winning here.
Interesting choice, because I was thinking Ciampa. So we got Ciampa back on Wednesday after a 2-month hiatus away from NXT TV. We last saw him being decimated by Karrion Kross at TakeOver in Your House. And then he comes back as a heel last night, decimating Jake Atlas. I think heel Ciampa is prime Ciampa. I enjoyed his babyface run, but, he's obviously pissed off from being overlooked. He failed to win the NXT Championship. He lost to Finn Balor last year. He lost to TakeOver in Your House. He lost to Johnny Gargano. The guy's a loser. He's a fucking loser, so it makes sense for him to go heel. And I would put the belt on him, just because Adam Cole, process of elimination here, Adam Cole was literally just champion. So if anyone's going to lose, it's probably going to be him taking the fall, as he likely gets ready for a main roster run, which may or may not be a good thing at this point after what we saw on Monday with Keith Lee, which we'll get to momentarily. And then it's Johnny Gargano. Johnny never got a real run with a championship. I see people pooping in the idea of him winning the title. For me, it's the same thing as if he had won the North American Championship on Saturday. People are crapping out all over that. Oh, he's already a former champion. Dude, he held the belt for a fucking month. Like, for the North American belt, he held it for like 2 or 3 weeks on TV. The NXT Championship, he held for literally 2 months. We were there from when he won it to when he lost it. So, if he were to regain it, I wouldn't hate that idea. He's a heel now. I think it'd be cool. He's not doing anything of note at the moment, so I think that'd be awesome. But then it comes down to Balor and Ciampa. Balor... this kind of ties into my next question. We're getting the return of NXT UK. It was announced on Saturday. NXT UK coming back, I think, Wednesday, September 17th, if I'm not mistaken, or Thursday, September 17th. Obviously taping from some sort of studio in England. I don't know if Finn Balor can come on over, because before the whole pandemic hit, he was set to challenge Walter for the NXT UK Championship. What's the status of that, RJ, do you think? Do you think we still get the continuation of that rivalry? Will we see Finn Balor compete for that title soon enough on NXT UK?
It definitely is possible. I just don't know what the travel restrictions are, especially going across the pond. Mm-hmm. So, if anything, I would have Finn win, and then maybe they could go down the line just do a champion versus champion, not for the title, but just that could be a good match, him and Walter. But no, I don't know. I wouldn't be totally against Ciampa winning again, but I don't know. I think it's just, I don't know. I would mark for a Finn win for some reason.
No, I think a Finn win would be great, and I've enjoyed his run so far in NXT. I talked about that last week, but I'm just thinking in terms of, like, if they were going to do him and Walter, does that hurt his chances of becoming NXT champion? And if he loses here, does he go back to the main roster immediately? I think either way, I think all roads lead to them doing Balor and Ciampa at the next TakeOver. I mean, that would have to make the most sense, right? We've seen it on TV before, but never on a TakeOver. Would that be the direction that you're leading, regardless of who's champion?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's where you'd go from here. They just kind of got lucky. I don't know if he was just ready and they were just waiting the whims, but Ciampa coming back when he did was just the perfect timing, especially with Kross getting injured and Lee leaving as well. But yeah, I would say either Finn or Ciampa wins. The next kind of feud you would do is verse each other. So it doesn't really matter who the champion is. I think that's kind of the next big feud. But I would go more with Finn.
I assume this changed their plans big time, just because if Kross was still champion right now, I assume we would have gotten Karrion Kross and Tommaso Ciampa still as a babyface for the championship at the next TakeOver. Maybe with Ciampa winning, who knows? Probably not. He wouldn't do 2 short championship reigns back-to-back unless it was forced upon them, like the whole Keith Lee situation, or the injury here with Karrion Kross. But yeah, that's probably where they were going, and this might be even better. So we'll see where they go with it. I'm very excited to see.